Here today. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to try not to speak too fast, but I also have 10 top tips and tools that I personally have used to help me promote and grow my business that I really want to share with you guys today. I want to actually share the hard tools with you guys, so if we can get started a little bit early, it gives me a couple more minutes to share those with you. You guys are okay with that?
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so my name is Raylyn Hoyan. I am a director from Grant Prairie. I am married to my wonderful husband, Lane. He is extremely supportive and is actually taking on a business partner role in our Scentsy business. We have one fur baby, and she is the apple of our eye right now. She is literally a living teddy bear. She is adorable, a little Australian Labradoodle. And we are 3.5 years into the adoption process. We're hoping to adopt a sibling group from Haiti. But enough about me. You guys aren't here to hear about me or learn about me. You're here to learn. So hopefully I can share with you my incentive earning, goal-getting tips and tools, and hopefully those will help you when you go home to set your goals and achieve your goals and your incentive. If you want to know more about me, I'd love to chat with you guys after the session or at the end of the day today, or feel free to add me on Facebook. So, show of hands, who thinks incentives are only about earning prizes or a free trip? Okay, so there's a few people that think incentives are about the prizes and the free trips. So, who believes they can't earn an incentive so they don't really try for it? Okay? There's a few people, so you don't have to be shy if you raise your hand about that one, and that's a normal way of thinking, actually. So, okay, so today I would like to share with you guys how the prizes and the free trips are actually byproducts, and how incentives are systems set up to help us succeed. They're building blocks towards a strong, successful Scentsy business that will act as the vehicle or tool that we need to help us achieve any dream, goal, or why we want to or have set out to achieve. I'm going to share with you guys the tips and tools I have used to help me promote, achieve incentives, accomplish goals, and make some of my dreams come true. Tools that have given me success, that have built a strong Scentsy biz foundation and given me the confidence to go after even bigger goals and dreams. Okay? Tool number one I'm going to share with you guys today is your why. Okay? Your why. Why do you continue to be a Scentsy consultant? What keeps you going? Okay? What is your driving force? If you aren't sure, I challenge you to think hard on it and figure out your why. It's got to be that thing that gets you through the rough patches. Okay? The driver that helps hearing no's easier. The rope that pulls you through those dry spells, we know which ones I'm talking about. No sales, no bookings, haven't recruited in a while, failed socials, your team is maybe shrinking. It has to be your fuel, your fire, your passion. Your why will change and evolve with life. And that's normal. Just make sure your why is always strong enough to keep you going. Okay? When I started, my why was simply to get a discount on the products. I loved candles and smelly things. My husband hated an open flame. Compromise, Scentsy. Even better, that I could get it cheaper. Okay, and I loved that I was able to make extra cash whenever I wanted. If we needed to make a bill that month, I would host a couple socials. If I wanted to do something extra or book a trip, I would host a couple socials or collect orders for it. Over time, that why involved. It then evolved into turning into me having the ability to work from home, to be my own boss, and I'm happy to say I was able to achieve this in the fall of 2017 when I quit my job and went full-time with Scentsy. Since then, after achieving that goal, it has once again changed. It's now about my husband and our future kids. We want to be able to have our Scentsy business in a place that when we go to pick up our kids, we can actually stay in country for our first 4 weeks together as a family and start our bonding time in a place that is familiar to them. We then hope and plan that when we come home, my husband will take the 6 to 12 month parental leave while we work our Scentsy biz around our new family versus having to work our work around our kids, or work our kids around our work. Not very often that our husband's able to actually take that parental leave, and so we're really wanting to push for that. And I must admit, part of my why is travel. I love to travel, and if I can travel for free, bonus. Who doesn't love a free trip, right? So, your why can be emotional, family-orientated, personal, or even monetary, okay? So, what are some of your guys' whys? What is your reasoning behind being a consultant and continuing to stay active with your consultant status? So make an extra income from home. Who else likes to be able to make an extra income from home? Raise of hands. Okay, so quite a few people like to, okay? Who else has another why?
Help get the anxiety out of my head and meet new people.
There you go. Help get the anxiety out of your head and meet new people. Who else likes that? Okay? Any other whys?
Not being judged because of a disability like other jobs.
There you go. Not being judged because you're your disability or because you're different. Who else appreciates a judgment-free zone? Okay? In the back there. Right, because you love the product and you're just passionate about the product and you want everybody else to love Scentsy as much as you do. Who else likes to share Scentsy because they love it? Right? Take a look around, guys. There's a lot of hands raised. You guys are not in this alone, okay? Scentsy is the vehicle, and we have chosen this vehicle to help us achieve and maintain our why, to achieve our goals and reach our dreams. I think it's safe to say by all of you guys sitting in this room today that you've chosen Scentsy to be your vehicle too. I have personally found having my why written down and displayed helps as a reminder of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's the fuel I need to get me through the tough stuff and the dry spells. I personally find what works best for me is actually wearing mine on my neck, okay? I actually have one of these lockets with the charms in them. They're not specific to one company. I've gotten some at Michael's, I've got some at Origami Owl, a few other companies like that, but I have 4 different lockets actually that remind me. I have one that is my wife locket. It was actually purchased by my husband, and he's the one who purchases the charms that go in it. I have one that is my mom locket. Reminds me about our journey to becoming, or my journey to becoming a mom, and the kids that we are hoping to have join our family. And I wear that as a reminder of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a consultant locket that reminds me why I want to share my Scentsy love with everybody else. And I have a leader locket, one that I wear to remind me the attributes that I want to share with my team, the things that I want to do for my team, and the passion I want to share with them. Okay? Tool number 2 that I personally use is word of the year. Who else chooses a word of the year? Anybody else? I see a couple hands, okay? So I'm not a strong believer in New Year's resolutions. I find that they don't work. You don't usually stick with them. But I find doing a word of the year, it is something that I can use as a quick reference throughout the entire year, okay? I started choosing words of the year 3 years ago. My 2017 word of the year was growth. 2018 is authentic, and my word for 2019 is presence. Okay? I base a lot of my personal and business decisions around my word of the year, as I always choose a word that coincides with my why, and that challenges me to grow, become better personally and in my business. I use my word to keep me grounded, so I don't get caught up in the comparison game. It helps me through the rough, messy times, and pushes me to do the things I don't like to do. You know those dreaded must-dos? That you know are going to grow your business, help you achieve your goals, and take you and your business where you want to go? Mine is follow-up. I hate follow-up, especially phone calls. Dread it. I have to look at this a lot. Presence. I want to be present in my customer's life. I want to have a presence in my host's life. I don't want to just drop off a host bag at the beginning, show up for the party at the end, and drop off the orders at the end. I want to actually have relationships with these people. My word helps me to pick up that phone, make that call, send that text. I will admit, I'm very happy to say that now that Maven is around and my husband is coming on board with our business, that he will be taking on some of that follow-up, and I won't have to do it as much. But this word has helped me through it. I'm also going to say to you guys, I apologize. I woke up yesterday with a sore throat and a runny nose. So I might have to excuse myself a couple times just to blow my nose. So my apologies. I need just a sec. Hate when that happens, right? I'm used to didn't lose my voice. I'm happy for that. So, tool number 3 I'm going to share with you guys is your story, okay? Orwell once said, people don't love you for the things that you're good at. They love you because they relate to the things you struggle with, right? Pretty profound. Who are you, who you are, and where you come from is 100% a part of your Scentsy journey. Don't be ashamed or scared to share who you are and your story. People are drawn to authenticity. Own your struggles and your successes and share them. Mel Robbins has an awesome quote that says, confidence is a skill, not a personal attribute. Confidence is something you struggle with, it's something that you can practice, it's something that you can build, and it's something that you can grow. It's not something you're born with. Okay? Your confidence level is 100% up to you. A tool I'm using to write my 1-minute condensed Scentsy story is actually chapter 4 from the book Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy Nostat. So many great tips in that chapter. I used to believe I could, great tips for that chapter. He's teaching us how to find our 1-minute story, our story that when somebody asks us in the grocery store what we do, we have a quick 1-minute story about our Scentsy and our Scentsy life. When we are creating material through Vistaprint, our business materials, we can put it on the back and it's not taking up an entire flyer. Okay? Use that story. It's going to attract those around you that you want as part of your team, your hosts, and your customers, because it's going to result in the most authentic relationships. Okay? I used to believe I could forever fake it till I make it with customers, hosts, potential, and current team members. I came to learn last spring that my social media life, as we like to call it, you know, that censored version, was where you were only seeing one side of things, only seeing the good, only seeing the success, only seeing one part of it, was actually setting negative and unrealistic expectations for my team. I learned this when I had members on my team saying to me, I can't do what you do. I could never be a director. I don't have that much time. I'm not interested in being a director. I could never earn an incentive. I could never make that much money. I can't put in that much time. You work too much. If I have to work that much, I'll never be able to make a paycheck like that. I'll never be able to have a team the same size as you. I can't put in that much time, money, or effort. I realized that I was doing it all wrong. Me chatting about how busy I was, because personally, I like to be busy. It keeps me out of trouble, and it helps pass the time as we're waiting for our kids to come home. I choose it though because I want to be busy, not because I have to be busy. But this was saying to my team, potential team members, that to get where I am, to achieve what I have, you have to do all that I was doing. That was not the message I was wanting to give. That's for sure. What I was doing wasn't duplicatable, it wasn't authentic, and it wasn't realistic. I was self-sabotaging by not being authentic. Okay? So look at your life and think on how you're leading your team, how you're leading your business. Are you being authentic in what you're doing? Are you making sure that you're being duplicatable or replicatable, that people look at that and say, I can do that. Yeah, I could be a Scentsy fits all. Yeah, sure, I want to promote to lead. Yeah, sure, I want to try for that incentive trip. Keep it real. Okay? Tool number 4 I'm going to share with you guys today is your passion and your interests. Okay? What activities and interests do you love and that you're passionate about? Anybody going to throw some out there? Karaoke. What are some other ones? Cooking. Cross-stitching. Artsy-fartsy. Reading. Gardening. All these are great opportunities. Okay? Did you realize that those are opportunities to help you grow your Scentsy business as well? Use them for that. It's easier to make and have genuine and authentic conversations and relationships with people who share the same loves, interests, and passions as you. I'm personally very passionate about adoption, as we're on the journey towards it. So I joined different social media adoption-centered groups. It was natural and easy to engage in conversation, make connections, and when we share common ground. I didn't go in there trolling, looking for hosts, looking for customers, and looking for potential team members. I went in there looking for friends, looking for people that I could connect with. I ended up finding through these groups, other groups that were geared specifically towards adoption fundraisers. It was natural and easy to engage in conversations, make connections with these people in these groups that were specifically looking for fundraising opportunities to help them cover their adoption costs. I made connections, and after friendships were formed, I have offered to host many Scentsy fundraisers to help them in their journey. Through these fundraisers, I made connections with customers that are wanting to support other adoptive families, with hosts who are other adoptive families who are wanting to have the financial support of the fundraiser, and with new teammates that wanted to change their own script, and they saw Scentsy as the tool that could do that. those interactions and relationships weren't super quick. They took time and had to be authentic and real. Trust was formed so that when I did eventually bring up Scentsy, they saw it as the opportunity that it is versus a sales pitch. I also learned during these interactions to normalize no. Don't take no personally. And to never answer for somebody. Ask and let them decide for themselves. Who's done that before? Oh, I'm not gonna ask them to host because, oh, they're too busy. I'm not gonna ask them if they wanna buy because they can't afford it. I'm not gonna ask them to join because they've got 6 kids or because what's going on. Okay, never, ever, ever do it. You never know where somebody's at in their life. Scentsy is a vehicle. Scentsy is a tool. Our opportunity that we have as consultants is to share that with people. And if they want to use that tool, if they want to hop in that vehicle and take it for a ride, that's up to them. Nobody's forcing them to. But it might be the exact thing that they're looking for to help them achieve a goal or go for the things that they're after. Okay? Tool number 5 is mindset. We all struggle with those negative Nellies in our heads. And you know what? That's okay. It's normal. And you're never alone. We all struggle with them. What I help personally helps me find the ward off these negative thoughts is actually 4 different things. I'm going to share them with you today. So first, cornering it, naming it, and being aware of it. I realized I needed to narrow down my generalized self-talk to what I like to call not good enough newbie. And that's what I named mine. I realized all my negative self-talk stemmed from the lying belief that I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough wife. I'm never going to be a good enough mom. I'm not a good enough consultant. I'm a terrible director. Even worse at public speaking. But you know what? I named it, I owned it, and I've learned to overcome it. Okay? And I also believed that I'm too new or inexperienced, undereducated, or young, not personable enough that I can't be successful. I'm not that young. I have some education. And you know what's even more important in this line of work isn't so much your education, but it's your life experience. Experience accounts for a lot more than education does. And I am personable enough. If I wasn't personable enough, I would not have the team that I have. I would not have the customer base that I have. I would not have that I was able to quit my job and go Scentsy full time. And I would definitely not be asked by home office to be standing in front of you today. These are the lies I need to own before I can destroy them. Okay? The second thing that I use for helping with mindset is affirmations. Okay? You can see the Post-its around the room. I purposefully wanted to share with you guys today the Post-its that I myself have around my house. The ones with the black text are general life ones. These ones I actually have posted in my bathroom so that every morning and every night I get to see them. I also challenge myself to only ever use that bathroom throughout the day and to leave my cell phone outside the door. If I need some reading material in the bathroom, I'm reading those affirmations. When I'm doing my hair in the morning, I'm reading the affirmations. When I'm doing my makeup, I'm looking at those affirmations. They're affirmations, everything from my relationship to my business to who I am as an individual. And I love that I have them somewhere that I can see them. If you are going to do affirmations, I highly recommend that you put them somewhere that you're going to see them often and very visible. Okay? The other affirmations that I have to share with you guys today are actually business affirmations. I got them actually from the amazing Becca Levi and Callie Petticourt. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them, but they're last year's Shining Star winners. The green text ones up here are actually customer-based affirmations. So if you feel like you want to help build your customer base, these are affirmations to help you do that. The pink text ones up here are about hosting. And last but not least, the brown text ones over there are about growing your team. Third thing that I use when it comes to mindset is using no as fuel, not as retardant. Okay? You're gonna hear no. It's inevitable, and you're gonna hear negative comments in your business and in life. Instead of taking them personally, I have used them as accelerant in a challenge. I challenge myself to get as many no's as I can in an allotted time. I maybe will sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna send out texts or I'm gonna make calls for 10 minutes and see how many no's I can get. See if I can beat my last record. Makes it a lot easier to go for that no than it does when you're trying to get a yes, right? It normalized the no's, it makes them easier to hear because I was expecting them. I was looking for them, I was hoping for them. The yeses that I really wanted, they became an even happier moment and were even more fun when I heard them. And lastly for mindset, own it before you earn it. It's crazy what the mind can do and get us through when we already believe it's ours. I personally regularly use verbiage like, we're going to, guess what trip we're earning? Our next trip is going to be here. When we get this prize, when I earn this title, I talk like I've already earned it. It puts my mind and body on track to do what we need to do and to make it official. Tool number 6, map it out, okay? You guys have your number sheets. We're gonna play a quick little game here, okay? So, there's numbers 1 through 100 on them. On one side, I am going to give you, I think I got enough time for 20 seconds here, okay? You are going to circle as many numbers as you can in numerical order. Don't go to order, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. Circle the numbers in numerical order. They're scrambled on the page.
They're on the back too.
You're just doing one side though. Just doing one side. Stop. Okay, who got up to 10? 15? Nobody 15, 14? Okay, 1 to 14. Okay, we have one person to 14. Okay, so that was going into it just seeing a scramble of numbers. This is like going into an incentive trip, not paying attention to the charts that Scentsy gives us.
No plan.
No plan. You're going in, you're just going to continue what you're doing, and if you earn it, whatever. Okay? Now you're going to flip it over. It is the exact same set of numbers. But I'm going to give you a little hint here. The sheet, pretend that it's split into quadrants. Okay? Number 1, you're going to find in your top left quadrant. And it's going to go clockwise for your numbers in numerical order. Okay? Keeping that in mind.
With the plan.
With that in mind, let's go another 20 seconds. Go. See how many numbers you can get. Remembering that they're in quadrants, in clockwise rotation. Okay, stop. So let's start where the highest was last time. Who got 14? Okay, anyone get 20? There's a couple 20. 21? What'd you get?
22.
22 she got. So we increased her numbers, or what did you get last time?
8.
8. So she went from 8 to 22, knowing that there was a little trick, knowing that there was a plan, and laying it out for her. Okay?